Let's talk now to Lord Walney, former government advisor on political violence and disruption. He's been a Sun columnist. He's a former Labour MP as well. Lord Walney, very good morning to you. Nice to see you. An awful lot of reshuffling going on last week, and I've got 2 sheets of paper here to cover it all. And it goes all the way from Douglas Alexander, Trade Policy to Scotland Secretary. Bridget Phillipson remains as education, but her brief has been narrowed as Pat McFadden has taken over a bit of her job. Hard to take in all this, but one of the people that sort of lost out was Rachel Reeves' sister as well.
Yeah. Eloise was not sacked, and she was moved to the position of Solicitor General. Yes, I think it is significant that the Labour Party chair is now being taken by an MP, an attorney who is close to Keir Starmer, the new chief whip. Jonathan Reynolds has, by most people's assessment, has performed relatively well as business secretary when compared to many of his colleagues, but has been put into that position of chief whip, which is again key to ensuring that the government can get its business through, of course. But also, I think this is an organisation, this is a centre which is gearing up potentially for a battle ahead. So it's put royalists in those key political positions, and that probably is significant, and is part of the story of why Ellie was swapped into a different position.
Lord Walney, we're just going to come back to you in a second because we're going to try and fix there's a little fuzziness on the noise that we've got there. I'll come back to you in 1 second. Let's get a voice note first off from Darren.
Morning, Mike. Darren working over here in Holland. I can see Starmer there sitting in his office 5 seconds before 3 o'clock for the emergency test alarm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it didn't work. Have a good day, mate.
Yay! Yeah, you can imagine that. I mean, 5, exactly right. David's in Exeter. Hello, David.
Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm good. Just following up on the Reform Conference. So have you guys in the media there picked up on anything substantive coming out of anybody in Reform on defence and security during the conference?
Defence and security of the realm, do you mean, generally?
Of the realm, yeah. Well, there's an interesting subject in it with Chagos and everything else,
yeah.
Jonathan Powell.
Listen, I must admit, I didn't, but I wasn't over all of it. I mean, there were an awful lot of fringe meetings going on. There were speakers galore, many of whom I didn't hear or didn't listen to. So I can't tell you exactly whether it was discussed or not. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, to be honest.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not prejudicing somebody in the fringes speaking about it, because there are a hell of a lot of veterans I know that have signed up and joined Reform because of the nationalistic views. But what I want to know is where is the substantive policy comments coming out there, any of the keynote speakers from Reform in defence and security? And this is obviously, Mike, in the context of war. Yeah. We've just had the civil alert test yesterday, and Ursula von der Leyen talking about escalations in the Ukraine. Well, where is the defence and security spokesperson in Reform? And what are they doing in policy?
Right. Well, according to what I've just found here, Reform's defence policy is to increase spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2027 and 3% in the next Parliament when fiscal and economic conditions allow. I'm sure there's more to it than that. I'm sure they've got policy if you look for it, but I don't know what their policy on everything is.
Yeah, Mike, that was written with Colonel Frederick Cheetham. Now, I was working with Colonel Frederick Cheetham as an advisor.
Okay.
And he resigned a week before GE week because he had a heart attack, the poor chap. But nobody has been replaced. Reform have not replaced anybody in defence and security to act as their spokesperson. So why is that?
Okay. Well, maybe you should ask them. I don't know. I can ask them next time we get somebody on, but I shall try and figure it out for you. Good to talk to you. David in Exeter, thank you very much indeed. I think we've got Lord Walney back. Lord Walney, sorry about that.
Hi, no, I'm not sure what's going on with my mic, but hopefully you can hear me a bit better.
Yeah, that sounds a bit better. Yeah, it was a bit muffled before. So you were saying that sacking Rachel Reeves' sister from Cabinet was not something that's going to particularly bother Rachel Reeves?
Well, I think Rachel knows that the key to the Labour government's success, the key to her success as Chancellor, is whether the economy can return to sustained levels of growth or not. And in one way, that is a very complex thing, which is proving very difficult. In political terms, it's really simple. So I don't think she will be losing too much sleep over it. I think what the centre around people around here are doing is gearing up for a rocky period ahead, and they want real loyalists in those key positions, like the Labour Party chair, like the position of chief whip, because obviously when the government is struggling in the polls like it is, and it faces difficult elections next year, which, unless things are turned around really substantially, are not going to be good news, then of course the pressure increases. I was in Gordon Brown's Downing Street at the time when the vultures were circling, and it is just a feature of where you are in the country, and the government's not in a good place at the moment.
No, it's not. But it sounds as though Keir Starmer's being assailed from all sides. I mean, there's a piece in the Sun today by David Wooding, in which he likens Downing Street to an episode of The Traitors, where he goes, like, pretty much everywhere he looks, there's somebody that he can't trust. So, I mean, it's not just one faction anymore; it's kind of everyone.
But it's vital that Keir and the government do pick a course and they stick to it. And it's equally important that course is that resolute focus on how you tackle the situation with the small boats and the crisis there that is now beyond tested the patience of the country over several governments. And then the other focus is on restoring the economy. And if they can do that and pursue the course the policies which are going to be necessary to do that, which are going to make many traditional Labour activists deeply uncomfortable, which are absolutely necessary, one, for the country, and two, for the political survival of the Labour Party, then they give themselves the best shot. But that does mean a level of discipline and a level of focus, and not being constantly knocked off course by the latest group of soft left people within the activist movement who've come up with a new bright idea.
Right. But I mean, the problem for him as well on that front is surely the deputy leader's election, because there's obviously people lining up on that front. You've got Emily Thornberry, who really hates him for not giving her a job in the cabinet. You've got Louise Haigh, who hates him because he fired her. There's a whole bunch of people who want to be leader. Lucy Powell, possibly, who's also out of the cabinet now. There's a lot of names of people there that have a reason to disrupt him.
Yeah, that's right. And if you look at this from the public's point of view, if the Labour Party starts a public debate and soul-searching session through the position of election of the deputy leader, even more members of the public, I think, are going to go, what the hell is going on here? You've got various parts of the country running policy areas running out of control. You should not be talking to yourselves, and it will do them more damage if they are seen to. So I think that the leadership will want to send a strong message to their MPs that there should be one candidate, and it should be the one that Keir wants, and if they can get enough MPs to back that, then there won't be a full-on election. I'm sure that's what they'll be working towards behind the scenes now. But then the question becomes, is this bunch of MPs going to listen to that? They didn't obviously listen to him over key welfare debates and made the whole government look a dreadful mess because of it. But they are playing with fire if they think that they can have this grand debate now while so many problems in the country are so urgent.
Yeah, I think that's right. But I'm afraid I think it's still going to happen anyway because I don't think they can help themselves. I think it's just the way they're made. John, I've got to go. Thank you very much. John Woodcock, Lord Walney. Cheers. Nice to see you.